one was for me. This is for Chevy. What'd she say? Sort of sexy? Oh. Harry? I never played basketball. I was too broad. I would have played some tonight, but they didn't have my size. I met Bill Bradley years ago in New York City at a party for the Knicks. I wound up talking to him because he was the only player that could find me. And we've been friends ever since. I've had a stiff neck for about 9 years. But he's a friend. It's hard to come out here to talk because actors are dumb. And I have to try to hold you for a few minutes with my intelligence. But I feel certain things about him, and he's running for office here. And I wrote some things down because it was by writing it, I don't like to read, but by writing, it's the shortest way I can say the most of what I feel. And then after that, if you're not bored, and you can be honest, I'll read a poem that somebody else wrote that I think is befitting to what this ex-athlete is trying to do with himself and with his country. This is what I remember, and this is about 8-9 years ago. Okay, more people can cough. If I was out there, I'd start coughing. The essence of his quality transcended winning or losing. It was a way of playing, a stretching and a completeness, somehow beyond the range of his natural talents, totally focused and within the rules but rough, and breathing hard behind that small smile that always showed a sense of amusement and perspective. He understood the odds that charged him with a foul he did not commit. He was never just arms and legs. His game was to use and extend the energy of his mind and his spirit so that it entered into artistry. And with it came an anger and frustration that went past the referees, the opponents. It was at times that his own teammates who were unwilling to deliver their best. Maybe this is the essence of the quality that draws me to him. It's the artist part of Bradley, the player that I want in office. It is the artist, statesman in government that reached us in the past. And I think this quality that I want to see in Bradley, I want to see in him because he is going to do something important. Okay, now it may be time for me to leave. This is a poem that somebody gave me this guy's poem. His name is Kenneth Coach or Coke. The whole book is called The Art of Love. And a friend gave it to me a few weeks ago. And this one poem's called Some General Instructions. Some of it's about love. It makes me think about him, and when I thought of what to do, because I don't do anything except act, I thought I would read this. I also told Bill to come on stage if he wanted to and take me off at any time during the poem. I timed it, and it runs about 4 minutes. I tell you that in front. You ready? I really like this poem. Do not bake bread in an oven that is not made of stone, or you risk having imperfect bread. Byron wrote, the greatest pleasure in life is drinking hock and soda water the morning after when one has a hangover, or words to that effect. It is a pleasure for me of the past. I do not drink so much anymore, and when I do, I am not in sufficiently good shape to enjoy the hock and seltzer in the morning. I am envious of this pleasure as I think of it. Do not you be envious. In fact, I cannot tell envy from wish and desire and sharing imperfectly what others have got and have not got, but envy is a good word to use, as hate is, and lust, because they make their point in the worst and most direct way, so that as a result one is able to deal with them and go on one's way. Do not be in too much of a hurry to emulate what you admire. Sometimes it may take a number of years before you're ready, but there it is, building inside you, a constructing egg. Low-slung buildings are sometimes dangerous to walk in and out of. A building should be at least 1.5 feet above one's height, so that if one leaps in surprise or joy or fear, one's head will not be injured. Very high ceilings, such as those in Gothic churches, are excellent for giving a spiritual feeling. Low roofs make one feel like a mole in general. But smallish rooms can be cozy. Many tiny people in a little room make an amusing sight. Large persons, both male and female, are best seen out of doors. Blue is the favorite color of many people because the sky's blue, the sea's blue, many people's eyes are blue, but blue is not popular in those countries where it is the color of mold. In Spain, blue symbolizes cowardice. In America, it symbolizes Americanness. The racial mixture in North America should not be misunderstood. The English came here first, and the Irish, and the Germans, and the Dutch. There were some French here also. The Russians, the Jews, and the blacks came afterwards. The women are only coming now. To a new kind of prominence in America, where liberation is their byword. Read as many books as you can, without reading interfering with your time for living. Boxing was formerly illegal in England and also, I believe, in America. If you feel a law is unjust, you may work to change it. It is not true, as many people say, that that is just the way things are, or those are the rules, immutably. The rules can be changed without it being a slow process, although sometimes it may be. Stuffed animal toys should be fluffy and a pleasure to hold in the hands. They should not be too resistant, nor should they be made with any poisonous materials. Be careful not to set fire to a friend's house. When covering over a gas stove with paper or inflammable plastic, you can paint the kitchen without injuring the stove, but you got to be sure there's no pilot light or that it is out. Do not take pills too quickly when you think you have a cold or other minor ailment. But wait and see if it goes away by itself, as many processes do, which are really part of something else, not what we suspected. Sexual information should be obtained while one is young enough to enjoy it. Otherwise, one may be tempted to rush out into the streets of Hong Kong or wherever one is and try to do too much all in one day. Birds should never be chased out of a nature sanctuary and shot. Do not believe the beauty of people's faces is a sure indication of virtue. The days of allegory are over. The days of irony are here. Irony and deception. But do not harden your heart. Remain kind and flexible Do not be put off by thinking of mortality. You live long enough. There would, if you lived longer, never be any new people. Enjoy the new people you see. Put your hand out and touch that girl's arm. If you are able to have children, when taking pills, be sure you know what they are. Avoid cholesterol. In conversation, be understanding and witty in order that you may give comfort and excitement at the same time. This is the high road to popularity and social success. But it is also good for your soul and for your sense of yourself. Be supportive of others at the expense of your wit, not otherwise. No joke is worth hurting someone deeply. Avoid contagious diseases. If you do not have money, you must probably earn some, but do it in a way that is pleasant and does not take too much time. I taught English in a university in spite of my fear that I knew nothing. Do not let your fear of ignorance keep you from teaching. Nor should you let your need for success interfere with what you love. Things have a way of working out which is nonsensical, and one should try to see how that process works. If you understand chance, you will be lucky. For luck is what chance is about to become. In a human context, either good or bad. You should visit places that have a lot of savor for you. You should be glad to be alive. You must try to be as good as you can. I do not know what virtue is in an absolute way, but in the particular, it is excellence which does not harm the material, but ennobles and refines it. And I'm speaking of my feelings for Bradley now. So honesty ennobles the heart and harms not the person or the coins he remembers to give back. So courage ennobles the heart and the bearer's body, and tenderness refines the touch. 1.5 more pages. The problem of being good and also doing what one wishes is not as difficult as it seems. It is, however, best to get embarked early on one's dearest desires. Be attentive to your dreams. They are usually about sex. But they deal with other things as well in an indirect fashion and contain information that you should have. You should also read poetry. Do not eat too many bananas. In the springtime, plant. In the autumn, harvest. In the summer and winter, exercise. Do not put your finger inside a clamshell, or it may be snapped off by the living clam. Do not wear a shirt more than 2 times without sending it to the laundry. Be a bee fancier only if you have a face net. Avoid flies, hornets, and wasps. Clasp other people's hands firmly. When you are introduced to them, say, "I am glad to meet you." Be able to make a mouth and cheeks like a fish. It is entertaining. Speaking in accents can also entertain people. But do not think mainly of being entertaining. Think of your death. Think of the death of the fish you just imitated. Be artistic and be unfamiliar. Think of the blue sky, how artists have imitated it. Think of your secretest thoughts, how poets have imitated them. Think about what you feel secretly and how music has imitated that. Become religious when you're tired of everything else. As a little old man or woman, die in a fine and original spirit that is yours alone. When you are dead, waste and make room for the future. When pleasure is mild, you should enjoy it. When it's violent, permit it as far as you can to enjoy you. Pain should be dealt with as efficiently as possible. To cure a dead octopus, you hold it by one leg and bang it against a rock. Last page. This makes a noise heard all around the harbor, but it is necessary, for otherwise the meat would be too tough. Fowl are best plucked by humans, but machines are more humanitarian, since extended chicken plucking is an unpleasant job. Do not eat unwashed beets or rare pork, nor should you gobble uncooked dough. fruits, vegetables, and cheese make an excellent diet. You should understand some science. Electricity is fascinating. Do not be defeated by the feeling that there is too much for you to know. That is a myth of the oppressor. You are capable of understanding life, and it is yours alone, and only this time. Someone who excites you should be told so and loved if you can, but no one should be able to shake you so much that you wish to give up. The sensations you feel are caused by outside phenomena and inside impulses. Whatever you experience is both a person out there and a dream, as well as unwashed electrons. It is your task to see this through to a conclusion that makes sense to all concerned and that reflects credit on this poem. Your species and yourself. And now, my friends, go. You cannot come back until these lessons are learned, and you can show that you have learned them for yourself. I thank you, and Godspeed, and good luck to all of you, and Mr. Bradley.